my name is Christy from Christy Bear Designs, and today we're going to talk about planning for your garden and what location is going to be best for that. It's really going to depend on the sun. That's probably the biggest factor. You can see I'm sitting out on my swing this morning. So cozy. I love this swing. We just built it a couple days ago. We had one before, but it got damaged in a big rainstorm with a tree fell on our house and damaged the swing and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so not about that, about sun. The best thing that you can do is try and track the sun. So there are a couple of different ways that I keep up with it, and I think I found a new way that hopefully you'll like. So this is the first method that I used, and it worked out okay. Basically what I did was wrote down the times and drew out a map of my garden. So these are my 3 raised beds, and this was a 4th one that we were going to build, but we decided not to because of the sun. So just drew a quick outline of that, and this is grid paper, so that did help a lot to make that a little bit easier. But I just drew out the plan for the garden, where the beds are, and then I used a highlighter to kind of mark where the sun comes into play. So you can see I use dots to show more dappled light, but this bed over here tends to get the most light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some half ones. And then the middle bed is pretty good as well. And the last bed, not as much, so that would be a better space for like shady crops like lettuces and things like that. I didn't finish the afternoon because basically the sun was gone. I did this in early spring, so as we get closer to summer, of course, the days get longer and this will change. Typically that means that your sunny areas are just going to get more sunny, so it's better. Typically won't get worse. So I started with this method, and this method was fine and it worked well, but I kept finding myself questioning, was this true? I think it was just as the days were going longer, it seemed like maybe I didn't capture everything properly. So what I was going to do next was start a new log and just write out more of a description about what was going on. But I barely got started with that one before I came up with the idea that I have now, which I used, and I think it actually worked the best. So the idea that I have now is kind of a little bit of a pain to keep up with, but it definitely provided the best results for me. So what I did was I set an alarm on my phone for every hour, and I went outside and took a photo of the particular areas that I was considering for the new bed. And you can see that bed has been moved, so I have definitely found better areas. So kind of you want to scope out your garden areas, see what options you have, and then track that every hour, and then save those photos on your phone, and then you can kind of go back and scroll through them and see what the best location is going to be. So I'm going to share with you the photos that I took, and hopefully this tip helps you. So this is where the raised bed was. We started to realize that there wasn't quite enough light here to actually grow anything food-wise, so we had to come up with some other options, and we started planning out where else we could be. Over here is where we have our compost pile, and there's not really that much sun, so I'm kind of looking to put an azalea on the corner of that shed, but we'll see what happens. Over here is an area that gets tons of light, but we travel through here with our trash cans, so anything we put raised bed would kind of get in the way, so didn't seem like the best option. The front yard is another option. However, it's the front yard, can be a little awkward. We've got a lot of people that kind of walk by, so they might try and take the vegetables. Hopefully not, but you never know. So we kept looking to find the best spot, and we found this right side of our house. It's in between our house and another house, but not many people go over there. That's where I've got my blackberries already, and it gets a great amount of sun. So this is the winner. So I hope this was helpful as you're planning your new garden. I would love to hear what other tips you might have for tracking the sun and choosing the best spot for your garden. So leave that in the comments below. And pretty soon, the next video I think I'm gonna do is how to set up the raised bed. So how I kind of do my layers and what I put in there. So stay tuned.